Hi, hello. I'm tired. Let's wrap this up. I'm gonna go ahead and through my list. Dorian is here too. Hi. He says hello. Magical Girl, House of Flying Daggers, Six Underground, Roma, Narcos Season 3, Sense 8 Season 1. I'm thinking of ending things. Raging Bull, Narcos Mexico Season 1, Narcos Mexico Season 2, Skyward Sword and Live Alive. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I my work has just been like, "Hey, take your lunches earlier," which because I do that and I work out during my lunches, I feel more tired earlier in the day, and I just like,
Well, nothing like a intellectually intelligent podcast to get your mind stirring and work that out now.
where, where, where? Point me in the direction of one. I'm vastly in need of one.
Anywhere but here. All right,
Correct.
my list. Dead Space 2023,
Ooh,
Hi-Fi Rush, Hogwarts
ooh,
Legacy, Women
ooh.
Talking,
Eh.
Living, Reservoir Dogs, Knock at the Cabin Door. Yeah, I think that's it. Skinamarink, Throne of Blood, Birth, Sexy Beast, and Time Bandits.
That's a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get Magical Girl out of the way, but to be fair, out of this entire list, Magical Girl, I feel like I'm gonna do this one dirty because I watched this one so long ago. At least it feels like so long ago that I feel like I'm gonna be mentioning a lot of things and it might be inaccurate. Magical Girl, that's a fun little thriller. I rather thriller drama. Let's go with drama. Drama feels better because I don't feel like I was on the edge of my seat the entire time like a thriller would be. Whatever. Uh, Magical Girl. It's a movie. It's Spanish. I think actually like Spain Spanish. It is a guy. His daughter has leukemia, and all he wants to do is buy her this anime dress that she wants. And well, our good friend Samuel, this man, he recommended it, and you know. I trust this man's opinions. And just reading that description, it's like, okay, he knows me. He's recommending me this. I'm probably not going to hate it. I don't think he's intentionally trying to bomb his credibility here. So I'm going to watch this. And so I did. I enjoyed it. It was more than what the description told me. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to spoil anything too much about this because the turn that the movie takes, it's like, oh, that's the direction you're going. I like this direction that we're going. That the no, I can't even talk about the theme because I don't want to give that away either. All I'll say is that it's a good parallel story about what love can do to you. There we go. That feels vague enough that I don't feel like I'm giving away too much. The only complaint that I really have about the movie is that for something that is as drastic as it happens in the movie, I feel like a key component of motivation is lost in a third act character and with an action they do that makes me kind of question it where okay, maybe I just need to pull myself away from the movie, not read it as literally. But the problem is that the movie provides almost like a hint of a John Wick underworld that I need more information on because this John Wick underworld stuff motivates a huge thing that happens in the third act that I really wish I had more context for. But, that feels almost minor because if I look at it from a macro level, I don't need that info to understand what the movie's going for or enjoying myself. It's just a nitpick that I kind of wish had an explanation for something that is a very key action in the third act. But yeah, Magical Girl, that's a good movie. You enjoy your dark, maybe not dark, I guess. No, but it is dark. I don't know. The thing is that dark feels like it's intentionally trying to be like, oh, it's like, no, it feels like it kind of has like a handle of realism. So if you enjoy your grounded stories, then you'll enjoy this one. I give Magical Girl a um it overcame even the description to make me like it out of 10.
Yeah, that's an interesting looking movie. I do want to watch it at some point, but it's not available in Canada. The only way you can watch it in Canada legally is by giving Tim Apple money, and
Mhm.
as we both know, I will not do that. So that kind of strikes it out for now. But interesting looking movie, and that director has some interesting looking stuff in general. Very hard to find a lot of it though, so I don't know when I'll get to him or if we'll get to him, but yeah, it's on my radar.
There is another movie that I think he made that involves something of a game developer. I don't really know. I think that's the only one that Sam has told me that
Yeah,
that one's probably the only other one.
Manticore, I think it's called.
That's I really hate that name. I really
Yeah,
hate that name.
yeah, it's a stupid name, but that's why I remember it.
Yeah. Fair enough. Then it's a good name. You can just hate it
True.
then.
Yeah, true, true.
All right, your turn.
All right. Fuck, where am I gonna go here? Let's start with the bad, shall we?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's start with my boy M. Night Shyamalan, and let's talk
Oh,
about
this
Knock at
man.
the Cabin. Is it Knock at the Cabin Door? Or Knock at the Cabin. This can actually bother me. Hold on.
Dude, every time I look at it, my brain thinks of Cabin Fever or it thinks of uh Cabin in the Woods. Is that the other one?
Yeah. Okay, it is Knock at the Cabin, so whatever. There's no door, but okay.
No
Um,
door. That's actually a key thing. You just spoiled the entire ending of the movie. There is no
there's
door.
the
There was never
twist.
a door.
Yeah, yeah, there's the twist. There's no door.
They were
Directed
vampires. They didn't actually have to ask for permission.
2023, my boy M. Night Shyamalan, Dave Bautista is here fucking
Mhm.
Batista bombing everyone. Not really, but he should have.
Batista
Um,
bombs a 10-year-old girl.
fuck, better than the movie we got. Look, it's better than old. So yeah. But
Low
it's not
bar.
as funny. It's not as funny as old. So if old falls into the category of like so bad it's funny for you and you can enjoy that, you'll like this movie less. As an actual movie, this is better than old. There's in fact, like Batista is actually pretty good here. I think he puts in a pretty good performance and shows that he wants to be a serious actor. He probably just needs to either start picking better roles or just stick with Denny, one of the two. But he but yeah, the movie in general is solid. It like up until a certain point, uh it's fine. It's a perfectly serviceable thriller. But the ending is fucking atrocious. It's horrible. It basically ruins the whole movie for me. And I went ahead and I was like, okay, this is based off a book. There's no way that's the fucking ending in the book. Like, I refuse to believe that's how the book ended too. So I googled it because he fucked up Sandcastle too, which is based off of Old, and he fucked up that ending. So I'm like, look, this has got to be another case of that. Sure enough, yeah, he completely changed the ending, changed the meaning of it, recontextualized the entire story, and made it dog shit. So not shocking.
Incredible.
Again, that's M. Night Shyamalan for you. I don't know why I saw this. I don't know.
M. Night Shyamalan, I think I'm just gonna watch Lady in the Water and The Happening, and I'll be done. Like, I don't want anything else. Just give me the worst of the worst so I feel something, and then leave me alone.
Have you never seen a Shyamalan movie?
Let's see. I did watch The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
That's it. That's it, I think. I don't
Okay.
Oh, Signs.
Yeah.
Signs.
Okay.
I did watch The Village as well, and
All
even
right.
as a child, I was like, "That was dumb."
I fucking hate that movie. I fucking hate that movie, like with a passion. Um,
Yeah.
Signs and Sixth Sense are good though. They're solid,
I
but that's it.
Signs is fine. Signs is fine. Like, honestly, I remember more Scary Movie 3 than I do Signs.
I think the only thing, the thing that sticks out of my mind from Signs is the one scene with Joaquin in the closet. Other than
No,
that,
that
though,
scene is incredible. That's
yeah, that
terrifying.
seems
That's
great.
still terrifying.
Yeah, as well, especially now with all the UFOs being shot down. But
No, no, what are you talking about? No, no, that's just fake news, okay? That's fake news.
fake news. Sorry, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, no,
okay, so I'm gonna say that I'm never gonna watch this movie, especially because there's
yeah.
gay characters and they have a daughter. It's woke. It's
Woke
woke.
trash. Woke trash at a 10. Yeah, 2 out of 5 though. Really.
Woke shit out of 10. Now talk to me about Hogwarts.
Yeah,
I'm
you know what?
joking.
Fuck it.
No,
Let's
no.
just jump.
Oh
No,
shit. Okay, that is a good transition. Shit. Okay, fine. This
that's
is
a
the
great
woke
transition.
shit
Fuck it.
block now.
Fuck it. Let's do Hogwarts Legacy. Fuck it.
God
We're
damn it.
21. We're like 22 hours in now. I think pretty balls deep
God
in that.
damn.
Um, it's good. It's good. It's very good. It's actually better than I was expecting. I don't know. So to be fair, I've never played Toy Story 3, and I know there's this weird obsession with the sandbox mode apparently in Toy Story 3 that's like really fucking good and slaps hard. I've never played it, so I don't know anything about it, but that's the only thing that I know of that this developer is known for, other than some mobile shit. So I just was not expecting anything from this game. But no, it's shockingly competent. well made. Visually, I think it looks really appealing. I'm playing on the PS5. There's like
Mhm.
five different performance options, which is really cool. I settled for balanced mode, which is basically, I think it's like 40 frames per second, but you can uncap it, and you have VRR, so you don't really notice the fluctuations of it. And it runs at a resolution, I think, of like around 1800p, and it looks great. So that's where I stuck with the. There is a performance mode, which is full on 60 frames per second, but the resolution takes a really big hit, and I didn't like it as much. So,
Mhm.
and the 30 FPS is too. I don't know, it's too stuttery for me. Which I'll talk about Dead Space later, but I played that in 30 FPS, so I don't know. I'm just weird, but it didn't work for me with this game. But yeah, no, it's fun. There's lots of shit to do in it. Like I said, I'm like 22-ish hours in now. I think I'm getting closer to the end of the main story. Like I think I probably have like if I was to just mainline it and play the rest of the main story, I'd probably have like 7, 8 hours left. So I think I'm getting close to the end in that regard. But there's still side quests popping up, and you have these kind of character quests, which like specific characters, you follow them down their path. I think there's only like two or three I've seen so far. I don't know if there's more, but one of those has like actually been the highlight of the game so far for me. It's pretty dark. Of course, I was fucking
Of course you would.
sorted into Slytherin, so I'm just playing it as dark as I can. Which you do get some choices. The only thing I'm not sure of is how much they affect things. Like the one side quest I'm doing right now is pretty dark, and I'm choosing all the dark options, I think, to make it dark. I
Mm.
don't know how it would work if I wasn't choosing those options though. Like I'm curious if the game would just kind of force you into doing it, or like if but it seems like it wouldn't, because like I almost feel like I'm setting myself up for a bad ending, but I don't know. But either way, it's fun. I like fucking, with all these the cursed spells, as they're called. They're fun to learn. But yeah, no, it's a good
Unforgivable
game.
curses.
The unforgivable curses. Thank you. That's it. I knew there was a
I'd
term
look,
for it.
man. I have a lot of Harry Potter knowledge in me. It's just like I try to suppress it.
That's fair. That's fair. I see. I've always, I guess, yeah. My background on Harry Potter. I've seen all the movies. I've read some of the books. I think it's fine. I think it's a solid series. I was always at the time Harry Potter was out. There was another book series called A Series of Unfortunate Events, as you
Fuck
know,
yeah.
Anthony, and I was way more into that. So I always
Yep.
kind of had this like chip on my shoulder. I'm like, who can Harry Potter? I don't care about this shit. Even though it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But I always just preferred A Series of Unfortunate Events.
I mean, it is
So
better.
yeah, I agree completely. But yeah, it's so yeah, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world. Uh, I will say I actually think I've always preferred the games and like that kind of medium for Harry Potter, just because the even the old PlayStation games where you like played Quidditch and stuff I enjoyed. So I don't know. It might just be that medium for me. Particularly works well with Harry Potter. But yeah, this game's good. It's solid. It's a lot of fun. I think yeah, the fact that it's being used as some stupid culture war prop right now on
Oh
both
God.
sides is really
Do
fucking
we do we have to bring
stupid.
this up? Do we have to bring this up?
No, not really. It's just
Okay.
fucking stupid. It's just fucking stupid. Because basically I just want to say, like, the reason I brought it up was to say there are people that I think because of that are like supremely overrating it, and people that are supremely dogpiling on it. And the truth is, it lies in the middle. It's a solid game. It's a lot of fun. If you like open world stuff, I think you'll like it. But yeah, I think because of that stupid bullshit, people are just kind of twisting it and overrating it and underrating it. So yeah.
All right. I'm just okay. Harry Potter. I read all the books. I watched all the movies. It was the earliest instance of me being like the book cut this and the movie cut that out. Which here's I'm not gonna say I'm not absolved of that anymore, because if I'm gonna be honest, the fourth movie still pisses me off because the changes that they made from the book have a terrible ripple
Oh yeah,
effect
they're
later
they're
on in the series.
egregious. They're egregious specifically in the fourth one. I agree.
Yeah, like that one actually pisses me off. So like that one, I'm okay with keeping that one. Like you fucked up not knowing that Dobby was going to be important later on. You idiot! You fucked it up. Ugh. Oh, shout out to there just being an entire slave uprising that they cut out from the fourth and fifth one. That actually is always hilarious to me. Anyways, sorry, the house elves. Sorry, not slaves. The house elves.
You say yeah, house elves. quote unquote.
God, it's so good. I love just how unabashedly offensive Harry Potter can be. And then since you're just kids, you're just like, well, why wouldn't the Chinese girl be named Cho Chang? Why wouldn't she?
Shout out Cho Chang, man. Shout out Cho Chang. Best character of all time.
Why wouldn't there be a black character whose last name has Shackle in his name? It's incredible. Just
Shout out to all the goblin bankers too.
God, anyways, I mean, shout out to the Harry Potter universe having basically date rape drugs purchasable as potions. Shout out to that. Just God, that's my beef actually with a whole bunch of Harry Potters that none of this should have become a universe. Like the name is Harry Potter. It should have just been a story with Harry Potter. Like I have beef with this series just becoming an entire wizarding world. Like that actually makes me angrier than anything else. So my beef of not thinking that this world that the wizarding world is strong enough to support an entire universe, it's like you've already lost me. Hearing enough positive things about this game, that's the thing. All of this info that I hear about the game, none of it sounds like anything I'm interested in. But I don't even know where I stand with Harry Potter anymore because I feel like all I have is just bitterness. So that's the thing. It's not even bitterness about JK or anything like that. No, no. I had beef with her because she just didn't ever know to shut up. Which I mean, still is technically true. That's still truth of what everyone feels about her. But my beef with her is like Dumbledore's gay. It's like you didn't put it in the book. Shut up. Did I tell you that Hermione's divorced from Ron? Shut up. Hey, did I tell you that Harry is unhappy with his marriage? Shut up! Oh my god! Did you know that shut up? Shut up! Shh, shh. She pisses me off already. So yeah, Harry Potter. This game is smelling like a $20 pickup, and then I may start asking myself, is it $20 or is it $10? And then when I get to $10, I get to that real just hard decision like $10. Am I just going to buy this and have it sit around? Or am I just going to finally accept that I'm not playing this game? That's where I'm at with this game right now. So I don't know, man. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm fine. Shout out to gay people in the 1800s. There's just, I don't know. There's just something about that that's hilarious. Like, I'm assuming the wizarding world was just like way more accepting of gay people, but as soon as they went into like normal England, they were probably being chased down like if it was fucking Bloodborne.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how that works.
Now, next time that I play Bloodborne, I have to imagine that my character's gay when everyone's trying to chase me down.
It's actually makes me want to go back to Bloodborne. That's a plot line I can get into.
Hey, are you gay? They start chasing. Away! Away!
Fucking guess we're canceling Miyazaki now. Jesus Christ.
No, no, that's the thing. Miyazaki was making the plight of gay people for the British in
Okay,
1800s. No,
there
no,
we
no.
go.
It's a very woke game. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna fucking delete my PS4. I can't have a woke game here.
All that work for nothing. Yeah, so Hogwarts, no review yet. Solid game. I'll finish it off and I will update with score.
My
So
score is please just shut up, J.K. Rowling. Just please. Um. All right. My next movie joining in the underwhelming category is House of Flying Daggers. Movie's okay. It was fine. My wife and I watched it. The baby was in my arms. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but if you hold a baby, you get really sleepy. I'm pretty sure like I slept through like 10 minutes of this movie. Like the movie was already kind of losing me. I'm accidentally racist though because I couldn't tell the difference between the leads, and it doesn't help that they have the same outfit too. So I was like, I'm actually maybe a terrible person. I apologize, House of Flying Daggers. I'm also holding a baby, so I'm falling asleep a little. But I'm just watching this movie, and occasionally it has a nice little action scene. But then it would lean so much into the romance. And the problem is that since it's a love triangle, and I'm having a hard time telling a difference between the two people who are in the love triangle, I'm like, I'm not sure which one you are. I'm not really sure if I'm, rooting for either one of you right now. Can I have more action scenes? And the movie goes, no, more romance. I'm like, I might take a little nap here. Just give me a second. And then I look back up, and then there was a huge reveal, and I had to piece it together afterwards. It was fine. It's fine. I don't. I don't have it in me to just be like, the movie's terrible. Like, I feel like I had pacing issues because, like, why else would I have fallen asleep? I've never fallen asleep to a movie before, but then I also never had a baby before, so like eh, I don't know. It might be it might be the first thing to happen, and maybe it won't be the last. But yeah, like somehow I didn't even fall asleep till the long day closes. Okay, but yet somehow House of the Flying Daggers got me. So yeah, House of the Flying Daggers is fine. It's fine. My score is I deleted this nice steelbook that I had saved on eBay in case the movie banged out of 10.
So I will say the most interesting thing about all that to me was the fact that you were having trouble keeping the main characters apart and the love triangle. And I thought the movie was hard to follow, so I guess I'm just racist too, and that explains why I was
Oh,
having trouble following the movie.
well, no, that this doesn't confirm anything because it might just be that we're both racist then.
True, true. That would make sense.
Shit.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I think,
we need to find an actual good person to tell us.
yeah. Poot, let us know in the comments. House of the Flying Dragons or House of the Flying Dragons. Fuck me.
Oh, actually, I'd watch that. Yeah. Oh, House of the Flying Dragons. Yeah, let's go.
No, House of the Lying Daggers. Yeah, solid movie. I enjoyed it. I probably a little bit higher on it than you. I definitely enjoyed my watch of it, but I really haven't thought about it since then. It's just not my particular type of movie that I love, I think in general too. But it's some pretty imagery and some cool action sequences. So, solid movie. It's a 7 out of 10 still for me. I liked it, but yeah, not much more to say.
All right, I got nothing. Your turn.
All right. Let's let some woman talk now and talk about
I'm
women
I got it.
talking.
Just I'm sorry. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. I've got it. Look. If we're already accused of racism, I will happily take the charges for misogynist. Okay, so like we get the you. I timer 30 seconds. Go.
So this stars Rooney Mara, Claire Foy, Jesse Buckley, Ben Whishaw. Pretty solid movie, actually. I was surprised that it was not as bad as I thought it would be. Definitely a little Oscar baity at times, but solid enough. Interesting story. Don't know how much of it is true. Probably not a lot of it. Sarah Polley seems like a director looking out for in the future. Good stuff. 7 out of 10.
All right, that's 10 seconds left. And considering that women are paid 78 cents on the dollar, I think this is probably accurate. If we said that they get 30 seconds, they actually get 20. Accurate. Women talking, no out of 10.
Great, your turn.
I'm sorry. Misogyny is like one of the last few things that's like somewhat acceptable to make fun of. So, whoops. Sorry. Um, Six Underground. Speaking of misogyny, Michael Bay, this man, dude, I forgot. Okay. So the episode name is Netflix Death March. Of course, Netflix had announced and then taken back that their password sharing was finally going to die. And so,
Unless
of
you're in
course,
Canada.
yeah, unless you're in Canada, they're going through with it because, that's a smaller market that they don't give a shit about. So, you guys are fucked. Anyways, in America, I'm still safe to not have to yo-ho everything that Mr. Netflix has ever made. So, but that's the thing. I needed this motivation because Netflix has this problem where they drop everything. And then because they drop everything, my brain goes, I'll get to it later. And then years pass and it takes for Netflix to threaten passwords for me to go, okay, maybe I'll finally watch it. So the next things that I've watched were primarily on Netflix. And that's the main reason I got here. And the thing is that I'm going to preface this right now. I'll probably preface it a couple of times later on, which is that I watched most of these, not all of them, with the way that Netflix wants you to watch them, which is half paying attention. Six Underground is a perfect half pay attention to movie. I did not leave it a heart on Netflix because I'm gonna be honest. Anytime that there wasn't action going on, I had my back turned. Just straight up, I had my back turned. Whatever, I'll just be on my phone and listening to it, and then whenever an actual action scene happens, I turned around and it's like, okay, all right, this is fine. The action is fun. It is as Michael Bay gets. Six Underground confirms to me that Netflix has zero producers on staff, and they just kind of tell the director, "Hey, do whatever you'd like." And the problem is that most directors do not have enough restraint and need a producer to pull their chain every once in a while to just not do not to indulge in their worst impulses, and that is what Six Underground is. Six Underground is uncut Bay. That's all it is, and my God, although here's the thing, it's all the positives and negatives that come with that. So the negatives are just Bay's poor attempt at comedy. I don't understand what this man is doing most of the time when it comes to comedy. It's like, okay, this is fine. Occasionally it hits, but most of the time they're just misses. Um, I'm thinking of the beginning where Ryan Reynolds is inside a car and Dave Franco is driving and he's drifting, and there's just a gratuitous slow motion shot, and they're about to hit a baby that's being pushed by basically a supermodel, and they're like, no, don't hit the baby. And it's like, this is Michael Bay as Michael Bay gets. Although it is hilarious that whatever, spoilers, it's fucking Six Underground, who cares. At the end of the action scene, Dave Franco just takes a fucking forklift to the throat and dies, and that actually made me laugh like really hard. There's a crazy action scene in China later on, but like it's a whole lot of neon like you'd imagine South Korea at night, and that was actually pretty sick. Like they let Michael Bay shoot in China. I mean, and there wasn't Transformers. Like he was allowed to jump across the architectures and all that. That was actually pretty cool. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff I can say positively about this movie, but the problem is that I half watched it. Hell, maybe not even half watched it, probably even less, just because there was more talky bits than there should have been. So Six Underground, half paying attention, not bad. My score is I'm not going to give you the heart. I didn't give you my full attention out of 10.
Yeah, no, I just don't have any interest in this.
Yeah, this is fine.
I've come to terms that I don't hate Michael Bay as much as I thought I did. There's some stuff I like of his, but I need something to pull me in besides Michael Bay. It's got to be either like Jake Gyllenhaal or
Yep, I
something like
fucking
that. So
do.
yeah,
Yep.
so yeah, no, just no. Especially Ryan Reynolds, no. I just
Uh,
can't stand the look of him anymore. So
I really don't like Ryan Reynolds here because okay, so my good touchstone for Michael Bay, right? Just it feels like a good example of what this man should be doing, which is Transformers 3. That I do like that you just have big name respectable actors coming down to a Michael Bay movie and slumming it. So, like for example, Frances McDormand and her character in the third Transformers movie is like she's just having fun. She looks like she's having fun and just being hammy as hell. That like if you're an actor that's respectable, just come in here and have a fun time. Who cares? Ryan Reynolds is just being Ryan Reynolds, and I don't like that this man isn't buying in to the whole Michael Bayism of it all. He's just like, oh, look at that, it's so ridiculous, and it's like, shut up. I know it's ridiculous. I don't need you to tell me it's ridiculous. Shut up. So yeah, Ryan Reynolds, huge detriment to this movie, huge. And I'm kind of glad that anytime he was talky, I just turn around. So yeah, Six Underground. You know what? My second score. There's actually 7 of them. Why won't you just name it Seven Underground out of 10?
there you go. Yeah, not watching out of 10.
Out of 10.
All right. We'll talk about Living Now. This is directed in 2022, although just released this year in North America, anyways. Directed by Oliver Harmnos. This is a
Oh, of course.
remake of Ikiru, the classic Kurosawa film. I saw this in theaters. Bill Nye, not that Bill Nye, but a different Bill Nye. I don't know
Wait,
if
isn't
that's even
it
how you,
Bill Knightley? Or no?
there's no T in it, so Bill Nighy, Bill Nighy,
Okay, hold
Nighy.
on.
I don't fucking know. But I'm just gonna call him Bill Nye because it's funny to me. Look, this movie is good. I enjoyed it definitely. It's not as good as Akira. This is the problem, Sometimes like, why are you remaking this? I'm a little bit more tolerant of this one though, I guess, just because I feel like it's a tough sell to get a lot of people to watch a movie from the 50s. It's black and white. That's in Japanese. I don't know. And maybe you don't deserve it. Then I get that, and I can understand that point of view. But I mean, this was well done. Bill Nye is really, really great in the lead role. I understand why he's getting Best Actor or he did get nominated for Best Actor, I should say. So he's definitely getting consideration. I don't know if he should win it, but honestly, I wouldn't be unhappy if he did. He was good. He was solid. He was actually the best part of the movie. Like I said, really, really strong performance from him. And yeah, it's just like I said, it's a lot shorter than Akiru, so it's like paced a little bit better, which I found interesting because that was kind of my one complaint with Akiru, which I really like Akiru. I love it. It's a great movie. But I felt like it was a bit long at points, and this actually kind of improves on that. But then it also does cut out some stuff that I feel was important from Akiru, and just kind of the ending doesn't hit as hard. So there's some stuff that Akira definitely does better and makes it a better movie. But yeah, this is, if you want to watch a remake of Akira for whatever reason, this is well worth your time. Probably couldn't have done it any better than this, and it's a good movie.
All right. I will not be watching this because I'll just watch the original Ikiru. And I looked it up. Yeah, Bill Nye apparently. Just Bill Nye. That's
This
that's
Bill
really
Nye, the
unfortunate.
science guy.
Uh,
Yeah, so 7 out of 10.
okay. Yeah. I'll watch the original at some point. Let's talk about a good movie. Good movie. Roma. Um,
Yes, yes, yes,
Shout
yes.
out to Alfonso Cuarón, either bringing enough of a team around him that he avoids the Netflix trap of, doing too much of your own thing. But to be fair, he did take that in a good direction of just doing whatever he wants, which is basically just recreating his entire childhood and making a movie based off of his nanny. Which, you know what? I'm Actually, no, I've just really put myself in a corner here, didn't I? Just you got Michael Bay going as Michael Bay as possible, and then you got Alfonso Cuarón just going, yeah, I'm just gonna make my childhood. So no, 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 he did self indulge, but at least it didn't bleed into the quality of the product. That's where I'll leave it at. But yeah, Roma. Uh, hmm. It's a weird movie that I keep wanting to talk about it more in terms of Y Tu Mama También, because like Y Tu Mama También feels very much like this the adolescence to adult portrait and growing up, while also kind of taking a nice little trip through Mexico. Like that's what Y Tu Mama También is. Why am I having a hard time summing up Roma? Shit. I know I like this movie, but now that I'm presented with having to sum up what Roma is about, like my brain just goes, okay, well, it's a story about his nanny, but like, what is Roma? Shit. I feel like it's the first time that like I just haven't stopped to think about it. I think most of my brain power for Roma was spent with being traumatized by something around the end that to give even more details means that it would accidentally spoil something. Dorian, you might have to help me here. Talk to me about Roma because like why am I struggling trying to figure out what Roma's about besides just being like, "Oh, it's a nice story about a nanny."
It's been a while since I watched it, to be fair. I really did love it though, and I want to get the Criterion for it, but I'm gonna hope and cope that they do a 4K eventually for it because it looks gorgeous and I want this in 4K.
Mm.
But I mean, from what I remember too, a lot of it seems to be kind of just about like the loss, the innocence of childhood, and kind of losing some of that innocence with
Yeah.
some of the things that happen. I feel in this movie, and the kids are forced to grow up a little bit quicker, so they're definitely a part of it for me. But yeah, a lot of it is just kind of slice of lifey and focusing on that nanny and her troubles and just kind of what's going on in Mexico at the time, for sure.
Alright, okay, so I'm overthinking it because, like, I preface by saying "Y tu mama también," all of that, because I'm like, how could I differentiate Roma from everything that I just said about "Y tu mama también"? And now
Yeah,
I'm
I really
starting to
like.
think maybe I can't.
Yeah, I really like Roma, so I'm not trying to knock it here. I think it's a fantastic movie, but I still think
Well, I mean,
I
yeah.
can't say it as nice as you. So why to Mama Tambien? I,
Guatemala.
I think that's the better movie for sure. As much as I like Roma, so
Okay, yeah, and that's the thing. I felt like I would be doing Roma a disservice by giving it the same description that I would for Ito Mama También. I think that's kind of what set me off on my brain of like, okay, if I take out what Ito Mama También is about, what is Roma about? It's like, well, shit, like kind of them both have the same driving goal, I guess, which is
yeah.
growing up while also the backdrop of Mexico. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
and I'm
yeah.
fine with that, man. He got another chance to
Oh, I
do
agree.
this. He got the Netflix bag to do it, and do like you said, didn't succumb to the Netflix curse doing it in the process. So he definitely deserved it. Um, Little unfortunate that this movie didn't get more Oscar consideration. I think it was really great and was just kind of ignored around this time. But I mean, that's the fickle nature of taking the streaming bag, I guess, unless you're Apple. So
Mm. All right, so I want to say it vaguely because I don't want to go into spoilers
yeah,
for it,
it's
but
fine.
there is a certain moment around the third act that absolutely, with my life, meant that seeing that scene made me want to fucking curl up into a ball and die. It was just utterly depressing, and I wasn't ready for that at all. I'm just sitting here watching this, and I'm just like, "Ah, I can't say what I said because that would be a spoiler. Whatever, no spoiler tag. Just like skip forward 10 seconds, okay? So I'm gonna count down to three, and then just skip forward 10 seconds, okay? So 3, 2, one. After that specific scene, my brain immediately went to, I want to hug my daughter right now. This scene fucking sucks. Okay, we're gonna give it a couple of minutes because I don't know how long 10 seconds were. Is that enough? Is there enough of a buffer? Sure, there's enough of a buffer now. So yeah, Roma, that's a good movie, but also I was not ready for something like that. That fucking hit me like a fucking steam train. Like I was like, oh god. But yeah, Roma, that's a good movie. I enjoy it. Y tu mamá también better.
Yeah, same page. 4 to 5, great movie though.
Hmm. All right,
All right. Yes, Reservoir Dogs, the classic
Woo.
1992 movie from Quentin Tarantino, starring everyone: Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Chris Penn, Steve Buscemi, uh, Quentin Tarantino himself. Just a who's who in this movie of wonderful actors. Yeah, so I finally, obviously, got the 4K Steelbook. Finally, thank you, Ed, and I was able to
Mhm.
watch this, and it is fantastic. It is still a classic. It is still phenomenal. It's still like Pulp Fiction a little bit more. But yeah, this movie's incredible. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's hilarious. I think it's well shot. It's again effortlessly cool. It's just like, I mean, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but
Mhm.
it's such a great, tremendous movie. So the 4K cut was really nice. They did a good job with it. Great looking steelbook too. I love it. It's creative. That's the Lion Gate ones for you. They're great. Yeah, just shout out everything. Shout out that opening scene. It's so fucking great, and would go on to just basically show what Tarantino was going to excel at for the rest of his career.
Yeah. Um, I feel bad. I feel like I would. I watched this movie so recently, and even then, I'm just gonna say, I'm punting it to whatever the conversation I had, probably at the begin. No, it was the end of last year. I don't want to do this movie a disservice. It's a good movie. If I had more accurate thoughts, they're probably in that episode from the end of last year. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs, it's such a good movie, and it's the beginning of an incredible run for Tarantino. Let's go ahead and ignore Jackie Brown. I will. You're welcome to not ignore, but I will. But yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. We've talked about this a lot before. So, classic movie, 5 out of 5. Cinema at its finest.
Good bottle episode out of 10. Um, all right. So, Narcos season 3. All right. So I'm going to talk about season 3. I'll probably talk about Narcos Mexico later on. Just know that there's going to be spoilers because it's history. Whatever. There's spoilers for what happens in Colombia in the 90s. Like I'm not doing that. Just there's your warning. Whatever. I'll give the same warning for Narcos Mexico. Whatever. So Narcos season 3. I watched season 1 and 2 however long ago. I don't really remember anymore. And once Pablo Escobar died, that's the thing. Narcos season 1 and season 2. Narcos season 1 goes over like a decade of history, and so the pacing always feels like it's just moving forward, and it's like you can kind of slow down a little bit. And then season 2 messes up because it's 6 months that it goes over. So it's like you Goldilocks this. It was too hot, now it's too cold. Like you messed this up. So season 3, I was kind of thinking, oh well, it's not Pablo Escobar anymore. I kind of don't care because that's the thing. The Wagner Mora, the guy who played Pablo Escobar in the first 2 seasons, that man was the hard anchor for pretty much the entire series. So even though everything was kind of just falling off, or it's like, this is fine, whatever. It plays more like a very high production dramatization to me more than like an actual show with characters that I actually want to follow and blah 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 blah. Except for Pablo Escobar, but that's because his performance is so good that I just wanted to see more of what this terrible person was going to do. So once he was dead at the end of season 2, I was like, I'm fine. I don't think I care. But of course, the Netflix death march, it was time to nut up or shut up. Am I actually going to go back to it? And I decided, sure, I'll go back to it. And the main reason for that is because, and I'm not even joking, the opening to Narcos is actually fucking perfect. The opening of that show is so fucking perfect for the first 2 seasons that I will just want to hear more of that again and again. So it got me back to season 3. Now, here's the problem. The lyrics to that song, right, are so Pablo Escobar. Like the lyrics to that are so directed specifically for Pablo Escobar that it actually bothers me that they keep using the intro for everything else. So even though the Cali Cartel is the focus of season 3, they still had the same song, even though it doesn't fit. The lyrics basically are just talking about Pablo Escobar and his gold or lead policy that he had. Policy, like he's a fucking businessman, whatever. Um, but it's so hyper specific to him that hearing the song started pissing me off. And then Narcos Mexico does the same thing, and it's like, no, this is actually wrong now. This is whatever, but that's beside the fact. Um, Talking about season 3, the show starts off very interesting. I had no idea that, I mean, because that's the thing. I'm just going to take it at face value that most of the broad strokes are true. That the second best cartel after Pablo Escobar was killed, the Cali Cartel, was trying to broker a deal with the Colombian government to be like, hey, listen, you guys bought Pablo Escobar. If you just let us keep our money and assets, we'll turn ourselves in. And that's that. And the Colombian government, after being at basically almost a civil war to get Pablo Escobar, was like, you know what? Fine, deal. And then just seeing how these people can't turn themselves over while also the Colombian government is still trying to get these guys, even though they're trying to turn themselves in. All of this leads to so much of an interesting premise, but the problem is that by like the final 3 or 4 episodes, it just felt like almost like it was rushing, but also God, I can't remember specifics anymore, but every single time that I would look up off of my phone, because remember, I'm half paying attention to this. If I was paying attention to this the entire time, like I probably would have been way more annoyed with it. But it just feels by the time I get to the end that a lot of these characters are just making stupid choices, and I don't even think that they fit sometimes. So it's like, what are you doing? You're kind of an idiot for this. And I don't know, is it real? I don't know. I don't really feel looking into that. It just feels like a lot of times that some of their actions are very stupid, and it feels very much like, oh well, we need to wrap this up in the next couple of episodes, so some things just happen a little too cleanly. Hey, I don't know, maybe it happened cleanly in real life. I don't know. So I mean, that's the thing, they at the beginning of every episode it's like, this is based on true events, but basically everything has been changed, and it's like, okay, cool, so we're just going to take this more at face value that's a TV show, while some things, probably the most broad general things, are going to be true. So yeah, I have complaints about season 3. It was fine though. Like it just makes me sad that like Narcos, all it has 3 seasons, and it just couldn't figure out how to provide one consistently good season without me having any complaints. It's still worth watching, but that's because the content of Colombia in the 80s into 90s is so fucking interesting that that carries the show pretty hard. So Narcos is gonna be a I would have said the intro out of 10, but the intro is so fucking good that like that's overrating the show if I said that's what it was. So I'm going to say that Narcos as a series, the score is going to be the intro watched on YouTube, but you have spotty internet, so it keeps pausing you. It keeps pausing and it can't buffer fast enough, so it just keeps pissing you off out of 10. That feels like the best score.
Yeah, Narcos is one I've always kind of just looked at, and I maybe incorrectly assumed it was just more. Netflix has just so much junk on it, and I don't want to say it's
Yeah.
junk, but
I mean, it is.
I kind of just assumed it was just more Netflix. Do you know what I mean? They
Mhm.
have so many series on there that just that are just not worth watching at the end of the day. Like they're
Mhm.
fine, but they're not really doing anything different. But I've heard a lot of good things about Narcos. I don't know, man. I'm just not at all in a TV watching mood. I'm barely in a movie watching mood right now. I'm forcing myself to still, watch a few movies a week. I'm pretty
Mhm.
much back into disgusting video games, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And when that happens, there's just TV's just gonna fall by the wayside, unless it's something I'm watching weekly or really want to watch, like The Last of Us. So
Mhm.
it's just not gonna happen. Looks good though. Like I mean, like I said, I've heard really, really good things about Narcos, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to it. But yeah,
I will say I can still give it a recommendation because, again, if you don't really want to read a Wikipedia page about Colombian history between 80s and 90s, like it's still really good at providing like information about that time in Colombia because shit got fucking wild in Colombia. Like just absolutely insane. Like what was it? I think in season 3, what okay, my favorite thing about pretty much Narcos between like Narcos and Narcos Mexico is whenever like the narrator kicks in for a second to give extra context because you just get some wild shit. Like in season 3, they just casually drop, "Yeah, in Colombia to fight Pablo Escobar, PMCs were legal." And it's like, "What?" Wh- that, how do you just drop that info? What the fuck do you mean the PMCs were legal? So yeah, like they. Oh, I forgot. They Pablo Escobar was making so much drug money by selling it to the U.S. that at some point they made USD illegal to have. Like that's fucking insane. Like there's so much little information like that just it's like what do you mean that was a thing? Also, shout out to Pablo Escobar negotiating with the Colombian government that he'll do time in prison, but he built the fucking prison that he was going to do time in. Incredible. So yeah, like Narcos so totally watching for all of those little tidbits that you're just like, wait, how? What do you how? So yeah, Narcos, even though where if I were to rate it as a show, it falters, the fact that a whole bunch of this shit is still true is fucking insane. That still makes it worth watching. And honestly, that's just more of a testament to how insane Colombian history is than anything else.
yeah, that's fair. Maybe 1 day out of 10. That's the best I can give it, but definitely
Yeah,
seems
understood.
interesting. I'll give it that. And the history aspect of it is pretty cool. So yeah.
Mhm. All right,
All
that's what I
right.
got. Go for it.
Cool. Let's do Throne of Blood next.
Mhm.
1957 classic from Akira Kurosawa, who we just talked about earlier with Akiru. This is just Japanese Macbeth. That's exactly what this is. Macbeth is a time tested and true tale. It's a great story. I mean, the biggest knock I have against this movie, unfortunately, is I've just seen the tale of Macbeth so many fucking times now. And of course, I just watched The Tragedy of Macbeth not too long ago, which was phenomenal. I really like that too. But this is great. This is really fucking well made. It's incredible, especially for the time. Kurosawa just knows how to make great war shit, man. And he does a great job with the story of Macbeth. But that's exactly what this is. It's literally just Japanese Macbeth. It's a retelling of that, a reimagining of that for samurai times. And he does a fantastic job with it. If you're into that sort of thing, you will probably fucking love this movie. I really liked it. I didn't completely go bonkers over it. Like, this isn't Seven Samurai quality to me, but it's still very, very good.
All right, Akira Kurosawa. Look, man, you are a Criterion guy. You are the Criterion guy. Whenever I get Criterions, that's how I will watch you. That's what I'm sticking to, unless maybe I see your movie on streaming and then I crack. But like, I would like to watch most of his movies through the Criterion collection. So, Akira Kurosawa, you are very dependent on when I'm more in a movie mood, can clear out some of the movies I currently have, and I can buy more of your movies. So yeah, I apologize, Akira Kurosawa, but at least the good thing is that you're not like the whole. You're not like a whole bunch of other directors that aren't even owned by me already. I've already watched a couple of your movies. I'll get to you out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. It's an 8 out of 10 for me, and I think just to keep it updated, I think I placed it fourth on my list of
Ooh.
Kurosawa movies out of five. I've only seen five, so I put it below Akira, Ran, and Seven Samurai, but it's still excellent.
Mhm. All right. My next one, Sense 8. Now, oh boy, man. Sense 8 is bad. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. Sense 8 is bad. I think I like it. I don't know what the hell the Wachowskis do to me, but the Wachowskis, I think what they do is that they just wear their heart in their sleeve. And Sense8, I think, is already post transition for both of them. And there's just something about this that feels so unabashedly them. Like there's an entire plot line of a so by the way, I had no idea until the plot happens, but also I think I'm an idiot and I don't really pay attention to this stuff. So, but there was a character who's transgender, and look, it's sensate. I'm not recommending this to anyone. Like I'm just not. I'm gonna keep watching it. There's a season 2. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not recommending it to anyone. There's gonna be spoilers if you really care, but I feel like with everything that I say about the show, your mileage may vary. If for some reason the Wachowskis speak to you, go for it. They speak to me for some reason. But there's an entire plot line of a trans character, and her plot line is that she continuously gets dead named by her mom, and at some point her mom gets power of attorney over her, and she's basically going to have her brain operated on. It's like, hmm, I wonder if that's the Wachowski speaking. I don't know, but like, look, I've been saying I'm tired of the gays. The show is gay. The show does have some characters that are gay, but like, I guess I like how the Wachowskis handle the gays. I'm not tired of the gays here, but like, I've been asking for trans stories, and I had no idea that there was a trans story just sitting here on Netflix for the last couple of years. Sense8, honestly, if I had to pin what interests me about it, there's something about the fact that the show isn't good. It feels very plainly written. Like, it feels so plain. It doesn't feel like there's anything complex about it, and that is a double-edged sword where something about its simplicity and how much heart the Wachowskis put into it makes me like it. But honestly, if there's a way that I can describe this show that contextualized a lot of it for me, it's that it feels a lot like if the Wachowskis had control of Lost. But by that, I mean, like, just remove JJ Abrams, so there's not a crazy mystery box every episode. Like, no, it kind of plays it straight. It's more of like the human touches from Lost that it's reminding me of, because it is a group of 8 people that are bounded together by some weird magical science medical blah blah blah. Look, it's the show is called Sense the number 8, but the condition or whatever power these people have, it's called a sensate. You see, if there were subtitles, it wouldn't have the number 8 there, right? It would be sensate. However you think that's spelled, go for it. Whatever, it's like that. and all of these people can basically communicate with each other and jump back and forth mentally projected to another room. So, for example, if the two of us were sensates, you could basically jump through my brain and show up as a projection next to me. Or if I wanted to, I could show up next to you as a projection. So that is the way it works for them. Or I could jump into your body and control you, which leads to like some really fun editing. There's 8 of them. There's one of them that's a South Korean businesswoman that knows how to kick ass. So it's very fun seeing just like some black dude in Africa who is trying to fight these guys to get back his mother's cancer medicine, and this man is about to get his ass kicked, but then the South Korean woman jumps in and fights in his body. So like you just see like this business prim and proper Asian woman kicking ass in Africa, and there's something about that that's really satisfying. Like the editing and just the transitions, I really like them. And like I don't know if transitions are enough to carry a show, but like I was enjoying it. I was enjoying how much of a character focus it had. But the problem is that it's 8 characters. There are some that I really like. The gay Mexican guy, I really like him. There's one character who was uh a Norwegian DJ. I didn't like her at the beginning, but progressively I started liking her more. And then there's a crime guy that like he's basically a Guy Ritchie character, and I couldn't really stand this guy. I kind of wish he would do like I just didn't need him. Then there's an Indian woman that her entire plot line is I don't want to marry a dude, and she just kind of gets to do nothing except like one moment at the end of the season that she's actually really important. And I think that's kind of what I like is that they write in the importance to each one of these characters at some point. The problem is that hers is like literally just one piece of importance. But at the end of the day and just at the end of the season, I still like it. I it's just giving me that Lost vibe of these uncanny people being thrown together and just caring about each other. And then add that with the Wachowskis' heart of their sleeves and how they're just going so simple and just going, we just want to have a good time. We don't really want to go anything that crazy. Like I'm pretty simple with the Wachowskis. Like at least from what I've seen with the Matrix Resurrections is that at least with Lana, I don't know about I can't remember the other one's name, but the Wachowskis are probably really fucking tired of everything that's going on in the Matrix. So Sense 8 feels very much like, I don't know, man. I just want to make some stuff. Can we just have some fun? And Sense 8, even though it's bad, there's a lot of heart to it, and it makes me like it. I'm gonna keep watching it. So I don't know. Maybe next episode I'll have season 2 finished. I kind of slowed down on watching more because so Narcos season 3 and Narcos Mexico season 1, I finished those. Since 8, I wanted to finish at least season 1. I started season 2 of Narcos Mexico, but I didn't want to go further in because I was like, well, I'm just going to I finished 3 seasons of TV in like a 2-week span. I can take it slow. So then I went back to Skyward Sword. But you know, like I reached a good point. Sense 8, I'm gonna keep watching out of 10.
Yeah, no,
No,
just no on
understandable,
this one.
understandable. Yeah. No, trust me, this
It's
is
just
not a recommendation, by the way. This
yeah,
is
no,
not.
no, and I understand that. I've actually heard a lot of just a lot of shit about this show, just in general. I'm just not a big Wachowski person. I like the Matrix movies. First one, second one's grown on me, but I like Speed Racer was just I did not like
Oh,
Speed Racer,
Speed Racer is so
and
fun.
I don't feel like this one would be for me either. And I think there was controversy with how it ended too. It got fucking rug pulled or something. I don't fucking remember, but either way, just no. I'm sure it's decent if you're a fan of their work or you just want a story about the gays, but I'm I'm good.
No. The trans. That's the thing.
Oh, the
The
trans. Yeah.
trans. I enjoyed it, and then I think it's just that the Wachowskis know the gays very well.
This really should have been after Harry Potter, by the way. You waited too long. So
Okay, yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Sadly, none of the trans characters in Sense8 had the name Sir or Man in their name. Big shame.
is there a character named Ema Bigot?
No, that's actually
Okay.
the character I had while I was watching it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, there's a self-insert character at any moment. I would just stand next to the TV like if I was listening to a podcast.
So that's a great idea. You could self-insert yourself into some cool shit.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if
Yeah,
I got
fair.
anything about
Cool.
Sense8.
Yeah. Yeah, not watching out of 10.
Understandable.
Okay. Time Bandits. This is directed in 1981 by Terry Gilliam, part of the Criterion Collection, which I had no idea. I know a lot of Terry Gilliam stuff is there. I didn't know this one was there though, so that's kind of cool. Watching on the Criterion channel. I mean, I'm not gonna get into all the fucking backstory. I'm just on my Discord. I'm running a really stupid fucking game right now, and this is why I'm watching this. But I'm not saying anymore. Anyways, so yeah, this is an interesting. This movie is really great. I wasn't expecting this to be so good. But basically, it's really fun. It's lighthearted. It's probably Gilliam's most like kid-friendly movie I've seen, which is really cool. It's just about this like kid who basically gets like absconded with these six midgets, little people, whatever we're supposed to call them.
I
And
know for sure
they're
that Midgets is canceled now. That we do have to go Little People.
little people. There we go. Thank you. Six little people, and they kidnap the or not they don't really kidnap him, but anyways they end up just going on an adventure with him to different time periods in the world while they're trying to get home basically and get some treasures and stuff. I don't know, it's really fun. It's just fun. It's kind of fantasy, it's kind of whimsical. John Cleese plays Robin Hood, which is fucking incredible, and probably like I was like, oh man, John Cleese is just gonna steal this entire movie with this scene, isn't he? But then fucking Sean Connery comes randomly rolling in the movie as like the fucking king. And I'm like, oh God, wait, never mind. Maybe Sean Connery is going to steal this. And he was incredible too. So there was just a lot of really cool stuff. Like you touched on Napoleon, Robin Hood, King Agamemnon. And there's just a lot of just really, really interesting history stuff in here. I'm sure most of like a lot of it's bullshit, of course, but it's just Terry Gilliam having fun with it and making a fun little movie. I don't know, like one, like I think the top review on Letterboxd is I don't think I've seen a film that is so stupid yet simultaneously extremely well made. It's like, yeah, that's basically it. It's really dumb, the plot of it. And the ending is like, I laughed. It's really fucking stupid, but it made me laugh. And that was just the entire movie. So it banged way harder than I was expecting it to. Really like Terry Gilliam stuff. Wasn't big on Jabberwocky. That was just completely fine, but a little bit boring. But this was a lot better. So I really, really definitely enjoyed this. Even if it is like, on my Terry Gilliam rankings, I would have this lower tier too. But that's just because, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Brazil, 12 Monkeys, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. These are all like incredible fucking films. And Time Bandit's not quite on that level, but I still really fucking enjoyed it, and it's better than actually. I liked it more than Monty Python: The Meaning of Life, so give it to that. But yeah, really great stuff. Definitely makes me want to watch the two other Gilliam movies I haven't seen that I really want to are The Fisher King and The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. And I think both of those are Criterion's too. I know The Adventures of Baron Munchausen just got added to the Criterion collection. Not 100% positive on The Fisher King, but I think that one's in there as well. So I'll have to get to those at some point. But yeah, he's a director that has way more hits than misses for me so far. But definitely a unique kind of style to him. So he might not be for everyone.
Terry Gilliam. Yeah, I'm sorry. You might be falling into this little bucket of I'll watch more of you at some point, but God, I don't know when. Apologies to Terry Gilliam out of 10.
That's fair. 8 out of 10 for me. Banged a lot harder than I was expecting to. Very pleasant surprise.
All right. So I'm thinking of ending things
Oh,
like this
the
podcast.
the movie based off me.
Whee! All of us. Okay, this one was really fucking good. I actually
Oh,
really fucking enjoyed
oh,
this
here we go.
movie. I
This movie fucking
really
sucks.
fucking vibe with the dreamlike nature of it. Wait, how do you not like this movie? This is
This
just
movie
you when
fucking
you finally decide to kill
sucks.
yourself.
It's
This is just
so
you.
boring.
No, it's not.
Power
Look,
of the Dog has more excitement than this fucking
no
movie.
bullshit.
Yes.
Power the Dog doesn't have an actual director moving a camera
Oh
around, okay?
my
This one actually
god.
has actors that are going for something specific. All the dialogue is good between these characters because you're just trying to read what the context is for what's actually going on in this man's head. Oh god, even that is saying that too much. Okay, you know what? You hate it. I like it. We're gonna just go into spoilers so I can actually properly argue this. So 3, 2, 1. It's just the old man that wants to fucking die, so he's just making up the world around him. How do you
Right.
not like this? This is just depressing. This is depressing as
Because
hell.
he should just die. He doesn't need to tell us his boring ass story before he fucking goes.
This man
Just
is.
fucking
Do
do
you
it.
not realize how
Do
depressing
it.
it is that this man can't even have a good dream? He can't even
Ugh.
daydream properly because he's so fucking depressed.
Yeah, he's pathetic. Just fucking do it,
Yes,
man.
exactly.
No,
You
I,
love pathetic.
I don't need you to no need to see you making up shit with a fucking fake girlfriend and fucking parents that are fucking changing at the table. None of this shit makes any sense. It's all I don't know. This movie just wafts of pretentiousness for me, and
Oh,
I,
how is this pretentious? Oh
uh,
my god.
it,
No,
it
oh my
it stinks. It stinks of pretentiousness. I can't get past that.
The movie isn't pretentious because the main character hates himself. There's no
I
pretentiousness
mean, mood.
behind it. Like literally the character himself. The character himself tries to be pretentious and even his own brain won't let him be pretentious. This man always feels like he has like some sort of higher calling and even in his imagination he's not allowed to feel like he's anything. This man can't even imagine a girlfriend that likes him. Like this is so depressing that literally
He's
pretentiousness doesn't
pathetic.
work.
He's
Yes,
he's
exactly. You can't be
pathetic.
pathetic and pretentiousness.
Well, yeah, sure you can. I mean, the movie
No, you
itself.
can't.
Yeah, you can. You fucking
If
plenty of pathetic, pretentious shit.
if
Uh,
you are being pretentious, you feel like you're full of yourself. If you're full of yourself, that's
yeah, the director.
counterintuitive.
The
No,
director is full of
the,
himself for making
the
this
director
shit.
hates himself too. How
I
do
don't
you
know.
write this if you don't hate yourself?
I don't know. Maybe the book writer does, based off a book. I don't know if the book's any
Yeah,
better.
no, and yeah, he took it in a completely different direction.
Okay, so there you go. This is probably Shyamalan. Look,
Okay.
I
Look,
don't.
I'm not gonna start that because like let's be honest, there's a lot of books that
No, I agree.
they get
No, I
converted to
agree.
movies and it's like, this is
No,
better.
I agree. You should know. You
Which
should,
I
and you
mean,
probably no. And if you're just straight up adapting a book, and you just go beat for beat, sometimes it's like, okay, well, why? What's the point? So I understand that. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. Just this movie, I recall watching this. I was excited for this movie too. I remember like waiting for this movie and be like, oh man, this is from Kaufman, Love Kaufman, or yeah, sorry,
yeah,
Kaufman.
Coffin, yeah,
Why am I
yeah,
fucking
Charlie
blanking?
Coffin.
Thank you, Charlie Kaufman. Thank you. This is from Charlie Kaufman. I like his work in because I've always loved Adaptation and Eternal Sunshine. I think those are incredible movies, and being John Malkovich is great too. So I was like, oh man, I'm excited for this. He doesn't direct a lot of movies. And I think this still is the only movie I've seen of his that he's directed. Like, I still really want to see Synecdoche, New York, but I haven't had a chance to yet because of streaming anywhere in Canada or rentable.
Yep.
But I just I watched it and I'm like, okay, is something is anything gonna happen here? No, we're just okay. You're just imagining all this. Okay, you're just really fucking depressed. Cool. Just kill yourself then, man. Great.
I
And that
that's
was my trajectory throughout the movie.
Here's the thing. This is the kind of depression I like because basically you are piecing together why this man even hates his own life. That is what I love. I love piecing together that this man, his parents, they were probably overbearing like this. They're exaggeratedly overbearing in his memories because that's how memories are. You kind of you remember more the feeling than you remember the actual facts. So all that being hyper realistic, not hyper realistic. Oh my God, what is the word? Exaggerated, whatever. We're just gonna go with the word exaggerated. The fact that all of it is just so exaggerated, the constant push and pull of the parents looking a little different, that almost ends up becoming like this extra depressing factor of like, does this man not even remember what his parents look like? The fact that the girlfriend, he can't even get the girlfriend to like, how he feels like he's being laughed at by the girls inside the ice cream shop, the dance segment at the end, like all of this is just a nice portrait of figuring out why this man wants to kill himself. That it's funny because we both get to the same endpoint, which is, yeah, you should probably just kill yourself. But you are way more angry about it. I'm just like, yeah, no, dude, you've made a good argument. You should probably kill yourself.
I mean, you could have just fucking given that to me in like 2 minutes. I didn't
No, but that
even.
oh, you could okay, but that's the thing. That's not an argument because you can say that about almost any movie. Any movie, if you really wanted to sum it up, you could.
I just find it's a little more fucking entertaining usually. And then don't even get me. And then the fucking pig shit just pisses me off. That's so fucking stupid. Ugh, I
Okay, I
don't like this
remember.
movie.
I know the pig was there, but I can't remember a
The
single thing
hallucination of
about
the pig at the end.
I mean, that's honestly just to avoid hanging dong, probably, wasn't it?
Fuck. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a shame because because it's a shame. I love Jesse Pimmons. I love Jesse Buckley. I love Tony Collette. I love Charlie Kaufman, but fucking nothing in this movie worked for me. I don't know.
All right,
Filtered, I guess. I
you
just
went,
could
yeah,
not do
damn, you beat me to it. I was about to say my score is filtered at 10.
it. My score is the autobiography of my life out of 10.
Just please don't walk naked into a school. That leads to big problems if you don't kill yourself immediately
No,
after.
no, no, no. I'll do it before then. Don't worry. I
Okay,
promise.
good. No, no, no. You can do it. Just know you have to kill yourself after.
Of course, of course. All right. But I won't. Well, I was gonna say I don't traumatize the kids before I do it, but I would
No, no,
traumatize
it
them.
was empty. It's empty. It's empty. Like you're fine.
Oh, well, I just want to burn a school full of kids. But never mind.
Why
All
the
right.
fuck is John Wick 4 2 hours and 49 minutes? Holy shit! This
That's
is
too
cinema.
long. That's too.
No,
I don't know. That
no,
that sounds like it's too long for an action movie, but we'll see.
no, no. But what if Keanu finally kills himself? Like he
He
dies
won't
on
though.
screen, and we have to follow him
Oh,
into the ER for an hour.
well then I guess John Wick 5's not happening, or they can recast. I don't know.
Or I'm in. I don't know. Whatever it is, that's fuck, man. I hate bringing in news, but I just read that and I had to mention that. That's fucking awesome. I don't. I don't. I trust you. I trust you, Keanu. I trust all of you. I trust you,
Yeah,
Chad.
I'll watch Wick 2 and 3 eventually. So
Mm.
it's on the
No, that's
list.
the thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You need to watch those. Yeah. Once you watch those, you'll probably be like, huh. Okay. They might know what they're doing.
True. All right, let's go back to games here for a second and talk about the Dead Space remake. Uh, Finished it. Of course, this is just released this year by EA Motive. Yeah, really a banger of a game, man. Just really solid game all around. Super spooky. Good stuff. It's not my personal favorite survivor horror game of all time. I just prefer, and people are gonna hate this, but I just prefer the Japanese style of survival horror games. I think as much as I want to like it more, this just feels like there's something missing for me in this game specifically. It's still very good, don't get me wrong, and I understand why it gets so much good praise. The combat's super fun in Dead Space, like it's such a trope in most, well, not only survival horror but games in general. You go for headshots. But this game, it's very specific. You want to hack off the limbs. That's what stops them. Headshots don't really do anything. So you appreciate that aspect of it. That's pretty cool, and it makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, overall, it's a great game. It's beautiful. Like I said, I played this in the 30 FPS fidelity mode. I don't know if there was ray tracing or not. I don't remember, but the lighting was phenomenal, even if there wasn't. The game just looked beautiful. I tried 60 FPS on this, but again, it looked blurry, and with how slow paced and deliberate and horror this was, let's find a 30 FPS for this one. But yeah, it's a good story. Very interesting. I think it's pretty predictable. Like, I played this before, so I knew it was coming, but even back then as a kid, I knew it was coming. I don't think this story is out to shock anyone. It's not that deep. Something like Silent Hill 2 especially, and 3 as well, is just infinitely better story-wise for me in terms of a survival horror game, even if it doesn't play quite as well as Dead Space. And I feel like that's why a lot more people gravitate to Dead Space and kind of prop that one up in their top horror games of all time, because it does play better, than something like Silent Hill, which is a more traditional kind of, tank-based survival horror game, which, it's not the best thing to control in the world. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, great game. Still definitely worth playing. I don't know if it's worth, the $90 I paid for it.
Mhm.
Probably gonna want to wait for a sale on that guy a little bit if you're not as into that. idea, but it's still definitely worth playing at some point. Really well done remade, definitely improved upon the original a lot of ways. Even if I still wasn't completely sold on voiced Isaac by the end, there was something really creepy and cool about just silent protagonist Isaac that worked for me in that. I don't usually like silent protagonists, but I liked it in there. But yeah, good stuff.
All right. Oh man, when am I actually going to? Oh my god. Okay, I gotta stop. I was almost dying. Wait, hold on. Yes. Oh no, I have water. The water almost choked me out. No, I know. I know. Yeah, I had my wife literally check on me because I muted myself. I was fucking dying because
Yeah.
water went down the wrong pipe.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh yeah, no. She literally just came to check on me. Like, are you okay? Do you need water? It's like, no. The water did this to me.
Man,
Um,
ironic if you die during right after I'm thinking of ending things and me talking about Dead Space. It's just that would be peak irony. Peak
Oh,
irony.
it's the death hour. Like, honestly, if I died here, it would have been peak irony. I would have told someone to grab this audio and edit it because it would have been totally worth it. Um, all right, so Dead Space. I want to play this. I want to play this, but also I'm not buying a $70 game if I'm not going to play it immediately. And Dead Space, I've heard very good things of it, and I never played the original. So, could this one be justified for $70? Yes, but I'm not gonna put the priority to play the game immediately. Even if I spend the $70, I'm not gonna do it. So I will wait until it is at a price that I can either let sit behind me or at a low enough price that makes me go, okay, you know what? I'll start this right now. So yeah, I'm sorry, Dead Space. I want to play you, but also I don't know, man. I'm kind of not in that mood right now. For some reason, Skyward Sword is pulling my attention, and honestly, I think I might just keep the Zelda train going. So yeah, I apologize, Dead Space. Just eventually out of 10.
Fair enough. My final score for Dead Space is a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah, this my turn, huh? Raging Bull. I don't really have much to say. Raging Bull is
Kino,
fucking phenomenal.
Kino,
It's cinema.
Kino.
I gave it the 5 star and the heart. Like I was already on the shelf after my first watch. This is the first time I got to watch the Criterion for it. It's incredible.
Great
It's fucking
4K cut, eh?
cinema at its finest. Oh my
Oh,
god, it's so
those
fucking clean.
yeah, those shots of him in the ring, oof, baby.
But yeah, there's nothing I can say, man. It belongs to the fucking Criterion collection out of 10. There we go.
Good stuff. All right. Let's do your autobiography next, and we're going to talk about Sexy Beast. This is directed in the
Lies,
year
doubt, doubt.
This is directed in the year 2000 by Mr. Jonathan Glazer, who will have another movie coming of his later as well. He also directed the fantastic Under the Skin and has a new movie coming out this year called The Zone of Interest. He's a very fascinating director now that I've seen three of his films. I think these are the only three films he's done. I think everything else has been just kind of short films, and he's doing that fourth one, obviously. But he's very Kubrickian in the sense that everything he does just feels completely detached and different from each other. So you never know what the fuck you're going to get. And I do appreciate that oh so much in a director. Sexy Beast, fun movie. It's my least favorite Jonathan Glazer. There's just something in there that's missing, and I don't know what it is to kind of put it over the top. But fun movie. It's about a safecracker who's basically retired, and his old psychotic boss shows up to kind of take him out of retirement for one last job, and we get the hijinks that ensue with that. Ben Kingsley plays the insane gangster boss. He's fucking great. He steals every scene he's in this movie. He's just wonderful. Um, he's not in it enough, unfortunately, but what he's in it here is just great, and he's definitely my favorite part of this movie. It's very funny. The ending just lacked a little punch for me. I think that might be kind of where I am. Like, it was really solid throughout, and it just kind of ends without much fanfare. And I was like, oh, really? That's where we're going with this. So that was a little bit disappointing to me. But I mean, overall, this is a definitely solid movie. It's very Guy Pearcey kind of feeling, kind of that lock, stock, two smoking barrels kind of action feel to it, with a little bit more of a dramatic flair. But yeah, solid movie. Definitely enjoyed watching it. And Jonathan Glazer is a very interesting director. I can't wait to see his new film later this year.
Yeah. That's all I got. Though. That's just my incredibility of how I'm totally probably never gonna get to watch there because Jesus Christ, there's so much. Yeah, that's it. Oh my god,
Did
out
you
of 10.
watch Under the Skin?
No, I have not watched on this game.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. Uh Narcos Mexico season 1 and 2. They're just going to get bundled together cuz like what am I really going to say about season 2? I haven't finished season 2. Um the only thing I'm going to say about season 2, and I'll probably just leave it there. There's a scene where Future shows up and he basically has a little Food Network segment of him cooking crack. I just wanted to let that sit for a second. There was a segment where Future was talking to the Mexican cartel. Hey, man, Coke is kind of expensive, but with baking soda, mix it a little bit, throw it in the oven at 355 for 2 minutes, and you got crack. It was incredible. Now I should probably actually talk about the show. Narcos Mexico season 1. Let's go ahead and get back on the soapbox that I was on earlier for Narcos season 3. The intro for Narcos Mexico should not be the same as Colombia, okay? Because let's be honest, the song for Narcos is fucking hot. It is very good. It is very salsa. Yeah, let's go with salsa. It is very salsa sounding in the way that the genre is. Mexicans don't care about salsa. They don't care about that genre of music. They have narcotraficantes or they have fucking rancheras. They have terrible music. There's no reason a good intro should be over this. There is no reason why the sound of Narcos should be in Narcos Mexico as an intro. And the other thing is that again, if these lyrics don't work for the Cali cartel, at least they're in Colombia, these lyrics do not make sense for the fact that there's no gigantic magnetic presence in the Mexican cartel. There is no reason for this music here, and it bothers me. And the intro itself, like the actual visuals, get worse. So you have this song that goes from being perfectly in sync with the visuals for the first 2 seasons to being like, okay, that's a little bit of a stretch in season 3 of Narcos. And then now we get to Narcos Mexico and like the intro is just like this is actually kind of bad now. This song is dope, but the actual like visuals, like I see what you're trying to do, but this is not working with this song. This intro is now bad. But just uh anyways, I guess I should talk about the show again. Um oh, so spoilers for real history. Apparently it was about the DEA agent Kiki Camaranga who was the inspiration for Red Ribbon Week. Wait, do you guys have Red Ribbon Week or no?
The fuck is that?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I will provide context. Red Ribbon Week is a thing in the US where they get elementary kids to be like, "Don't say no to drugs," right? Um and apparently it started off with this DEA agent who was fighting Mexican cartels in the 80s and was tortured to death, which now that I know that, it's like, wow, you have children being like Red Ribbon Week. And it's like, you're saying no to drugs because a DEA agent got tortured to death. Cool. Um, Anyways, that's the main character of season 1 of Narcos Mexico. I had no idea. So when he died, I was like, oh my God, what? That was actually, that was pretty dope. Maybe not dope that, the Mexican cartel tortured a man to death, maybe not that. But I don't know, man. This is one that I checked out harder, but that's because of my opinions about the Mexican cartel compared to the Colombian cartel. The Colombian cartel way more interesting. All of it in Mexico, it's like okay, whatever. To be fair, though, the Mexican cartels being the Colombian cartels bitches, that spoke to my soul. Like I was like, oh my God, I fucking love this. Pablo Escobar even shows up for a little bit, which it felt weird pogging over a cameo for Pablo Escobar, a man who is the cause of probably thousands of deaths in Colombia. And probably even more if you count up how many people were addicted to cocaine. Like, it felt weird pogging about that man showing up, but I was very happy to see the actor because I mean, even though Diego Luna is very good in this show, something about Wagner Moura as Pablo Escobar is just like he's just outclassing everyone. Um, but yeah, Narcos Mexico season one, I don't know, man. Again, it's the little interesting tidbits that they cut away from the show that I care about way more. That I'm just so much more interested in. And by the time that season one of Narcos Mexico ends, I'm just more interested about where it goes afterwards because actually, no. You know what it is that I like about Narcos Mexico season one? I finally remembered this. What was the main driver that I liked? So the whole point of Narcos Mexico season one is that the Mexican cartel basically was a whole bunch of smaller, like not families, like they're not blood related, but I guess just bear with me here for the way I can describe it. The families that had their own little drug operations in smaller territories, and how one guy is like, okay, what if we all just join up together? I enjoyed seeing all of that because they are so woefully incompetent at almost every turn that it became a comedy of me laughing at them just doing this so fucking terribly. Especially after watching all of Narcos, it's like, yeah, the Colombians knew what the fuck they were doing. You guys have no idea what you're doing, and it just led me to laughing at them very often. The other thing as well is that, hold on, what was the other thing? Or was that pretty much it? Just me laughing at the fact that they suck at this. Oh, also just how ridiculously corrupt Mexico is. How these people just like would be paying off cops like fucking nothing. Like the cops would basically be their own little PMC. That if you ever need to get rid of someone, you just pay the cops to get rid of them. Like it is just state sanctioned hitman. It's fucking hilarious. Um, yeah, no, it's just really more of like the tidbits of what you find out about the country that was what made me laugh more than anything else for Narcos Mexico. That's most of my enjoyment. Once Kiki Camarena just basically gets tortured to death, America now realizing that Mexico isn't a place where you can really follow the rule of law. That's something that the DEA agents run into all the time, which is like, yeah, we're gonna try and do this right, and they're like, dude, you're in Mexico. You think there's a law here? So, yeah. The end of season one is the DEA just sending down like 20 agents just being like, hey, so there's no law there. So can you guys get revenge for Kiki Kamaringa? Perfect. Go on ahead. Um, so yeah, season two, I still haven't watched enough season two to kind of hope that they start breaking the law. Well, I mean, breaking the law in Mexico as you can because there's not even laws there. So season two, I'm just kind of hoping turns into a revenge flick and it's just out there just blowing away Mexican cartels. I can't even remember that much of season two besides fucking Future cooking crack. But yeah, Narcos Mexico, eh, it's fine out of 10.
Yeah, I got nothing to add. I mean, I'm not probably not going to watch Narcos, so I doubt to
Uh,
watch Narcos Mexico, but
I mean, that's the thing. Oh, I guess I should probably mention this as well. So, Narcos is all about Colombians from like the 80s into the 90s. Narcos Mexico is actually starts around the same time. So, when I saw that it went further back, I was thinking, oh, I thought this was going to be for stuff right after Narcos ended. But no, it's kind of like almost a parallel, which it being parallel makes it funny again because it's like, man, the Colombians really had this shit on lock and you guys are terrible at this. So, yeah, that's a lot of enjoyment from my point of view. That's
oh,
all I
good
got.
stuff. All right.
Go for it.
Let's talk about Birth. So this was
Oh
Jonathan
no.
Glazer's second movie. Wow, I don't know.
I don't know if I want to talk about birth, man.
Oh, I mean, fair. 2004. Nicole Kidman stars here, and Heche is here, some other people too. This movie's fascinating. I really like this fucking movie, and the more I think about it, the more it's kind of growing on me. It's a very interesting story. So it's basically about Nicole Kidman's character. Her husband dies. This is in spoilers, by the way. This happens at the very start of the movie, so fuck off. But yeah,
Hmm.
her husband dies, and she's basically just kind of fucked for a while and is slowly getting over it. Then, she meets a new guy. It fast forwards basically. This is all at the very start of the movie. And they're going to get married. She's finally moved on enough. She's good. She's feeling, somewhat content in life. But a young boy shows up and claims to be her husband reincarnated. It's interesting. It's a really fucky little movie. There's a lot of shit in there that I'm just like, oh man, this probably makes people angry. I'm surprised there's not more controversy, but I guess this movie is just so small that not a lot of people have heard about it. And it's funny for Nicole Kidman because it's sandwiched in between some horrible movies she did. Like I think it's a sandwiched in between like the Stepford Wives and like Bewitched. So just hilarious that this is here. But she puts on a really incredible performance here as Anna is her name in the movie.
Mm.
But yeah, this is just a fascinating movie. And like I said, the longer I've reflected on it, the more I like it. I don't think I like it quite as much as Under the Skin still. Like Under the Skin's fucking great. But this is a really, really good movie that really keeps you guessing, kind of tries to fucking get under your skin and be like, what the fuck is going on here? And a really satisfying conclusion that not only kind of wraps things up, but just kind of leaves you like, oh, fuck me. So great, great film. Highly recommend this one. I don't want to say anything too much more because it's the kind of movie you don't want to know too much about it going in. Like that basic premise is fine, but anything after that you don't really want to know. And yeah, it's just tremendously done in my opinion. So really, really solid movie. Definitely check that one out if you haven't heard of it. I think a lot of people have. Um, and give him a shot, Jonathan Glazer's work, especially this and Under the Skin, because I think he's a very unique director. And his new movie coming out this year is apparently a war movie. Well, at least takes place in war times. I don't think it's going to be a war movie specifically, but takes place in war times. So that should be something again completely different from Mr. Glazer, and should be interesting to watch.
Yeah. Look, man, just same thing I said last time. Let's just keep it there.
All right, 4 out of 5 for me.
All right. I have two things left, and I'm probably going to bundle them together. So, yeah. You have any more? Or
I got 2 things left too.
okay. All right. And I'm just going to get these out of the way then. Okay. So Skyward Sword is here. That's going to take most of the conversation. So I'm going to get Live Alive out of the way here. Live Alive, I saw that it was $40 and it's Nintendo published. And I went, oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? That game looked a little interesting. So I decided to buy it. I think it's in the mailbox right now. How did I play it? Well, let's just say that I took a small sample and I played it a little bit on a certain switch that
99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer.
you take one down, you pass it around. I have a hack switch and a game on there. So I tried it. It wasn't even that long. I got like 20 or 30 minutes in. I just realized, man, this is not doing it for me. They had a whole bunch of different characters. The only thing I read on them was like different time periods. This guy's in the past. This guy's in the present. This guy's in Edo, Japan. This man is in the far flung future. And the game just kind of throws you in. And I was like, well, I enjoy the ninjas, so I'm gonna choose the guy from the ninja period. And I was playing it, and I got into some combat, and I it's a grid based, turn based game, and I was like, I'm kind of not feeling this. And then I just tried to keep playing it. And I got to a certain point where there were two doors that were locked. And I was thinking, oh, I don't know where to go. I have zero interest in trying to figure any of this out, even the most minor bit of brain power. I was like, I don't think I like you enough to try this. So I deleted it. I'm going to grab my copy and I'm going to return it to Target. All's well that ends well. Dorian, do you have any opinions about Live Alive?
I actually really want to try this game. It seems interesting to me. I don't know if I will like it more. But yeah, I don't know. There's just it seemed interesting enough to me that I want to give it a shot at some point. But we'll see when I get to that.
Okay, well, hopefully, whenever you try it, you're more positive about it than I am. My score is gonna be 20 or 30 minutes. Let me know that I didn't need to spend the $30 or $40 there. All right, next one, Skyward Sword. Dude, Skyward Sword is just an odd little duckling. It's just look, there you go. I said it for you. Although, like, I would have said it regardless. But
Yeah,
Skyward.
I think it was
Go
the
for it.
beer.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Dorian, he saw me call this game an odd duckling, and he is like, "I need you to say that on the podcast." I'm like, "Okay, that's fine." But Skyward Sword is just like an odd little duckling of a video game because there are times where I will just get so annoyed, and I'm just like, "Man, could you have just not motion controlled this?" And then there are other times where I bowl a bomb into someone, and I'm like, wow, this might be one of the greatest video games of all time. But besides that, the design of this game is like just it's okay, it's not peak. It's not peak because like if you made me stop and think about what Zelda games do I prefer the most, I wouldn't be able to choose. So I don't want to say peak and imply that this is my favorite Zelda design so far. Like I'm not getting into that. What I'll say is that most of the stuff of getting from dungeon to dungeon, so not even the design of the dungeon itself, but the design of how to get to the next dungeon is probably some of my favorite that I can remember, mostly because there's one moment, right, in Skyward Sword where I had to get to a dungeon, but it's like you need to explore and find these 16 seeds or something like this. And the icon showed up and it reminded me of my least favorite parts of Twilight Princess. And I almost fucking lost it. I was like, no, no, do not tell me you are bringing this back. But then the design of the game means that this entire trek is way faster. You can find everything very easily, and you're just constantly running. And I was like, oh, hold on. You fixed this? Oh my god. Like Twilight Princess is like my second favorite Zelda game, but like that's a section that I fucking hate. But you're telling me that you fixed this for the better? This is awesome. So the sword fighting, I finally understand it more. I'm starting to realize why there's a button to sync up your directions. So you've played VR. You know how like occasionally you need to reset your position so it reads your movements properly. That is what was happening with the sword fighting and the controls. Once I learned that I just have to resync it before I start doing anything, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is starting to click a whole lot more." The thing is that I assume that this wasn't an issue with the Wii version because with the sensor bar, no matter where you are, as long as you're facing the sensor bar, you know, okay, that's forward. This is fine. I don't know if this is an issue that's inherent with the Switch one, but with the Switch one, there's a certain stab motion, the stab forward that you're supposed to do. And there's like there are these annoying ass like knight enemies. They're not actual knights, but I mean like in power scaling, they're basically knights. So like these guys will fuck you up very quickly. The problem is that they have a little diamond in them that you have to stab, but the motion for stabbing I just cannot pull off. Like it's just easy. Like just push forward, but I think the sensitivity just wasn't letting me pull this off. So I had these enemies that are already difficult just because they'll destroy you so quickly, and I can't pull off the move that kills them very well. And then to add to that, there was a boss right after them that required a stabbing motion that again was getting me destroyed. I am dying so often in this game, and what I'm realizing that it's no longer me not knowing the controls, it's me not being good at the game, but I like it because it lets me know, oh, I can actually get good at this. It's probably the first time in a Zelda game that the combat is more than just Z target, jump around a little bit, and then sword fight. Like, no, no, no. You actually had to worry about the direction of the sword that it's going, and I dig it a lot. But again, now that I know to sync up most of my actions almost immediately, it's starting to work for me, and that's what I like about it. But again, the stabbing motion is just something that even now I don't need to do it anymore because there aren't any enemies that are forcing me to do it. But even now, I keep trying it. And I'm like, I can't get this right. Like I have to be very deliberate to just move the joystick forward, bend my wrist in a certain way. So, like, for sure, it's just reading lateral. Because if not, it'll read something completely different and just send me in a fucking 180 turn. Well, I mean, not even 180 turn, more like a 360 spin towards them. Anyways, but yeah, no, Skyward Sword again just constantly is bothering me with the moments they choose to add motion controls, and then there are other moments where I'm like, yeah, no, this is perfect. But yeah, Skyward Sword, I just want to keep playing it. I think I'm halfway done. I would like to have it done by next episode, but I'm totally not going to. The music is good still. Yeah, Skyward Sword. I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would, but it's good things in the Zelda series that this one might end up being my worst one out of the ones I played. And even this one I'm still enjoying. So yeah, Skyward Sword, gonna keep going out of 10.
Remember his name, Hideomara Fujibayashi.
Fucking incredible man, honestly. The DNA from this series over into Breath of the Wild, oh my god. This man handles weirdo Zelda like no one else does, okay? Which, by the way, actually, it is kind of funny playing this and then playing Breath of the Wild. This man wants to bring Zelda into sci-fi so fucking badly, and I love that, like, Nintendo constantly is like, no, you can't do that. He's like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna put robots in Zelda, and I really enjoy the robots. Like, I love the anachronism of this man constantly trying to put it to sci-fi, and Nintendo's like, no, this is fantasy. Stop it.
Sci-fi, we probably wouldn't have breakable weapons.
I mean, no, specifically, they probably would have more. Like, you had sci-fi, and it's like, well, in the future, we don't have to fight like this, like barbarians anymore. Use a gun.
I mean, if Tears of the Kingdom is a gun, I'm in. Like, if I can just shoot fucking people, sure, why not?
I mean,
Hell.
that'd be kind of cool.
All right, I got nothing on Skyward Sword. I don't like it. We've talked about this. Glad you're having fun though.
Dude, if no, but that's the thing. If they just took the level design and the dungeon design out of the motion controls, you would like this.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I look. There is Skyward Sword is not like Breath of the Wild for me. It's not like a completely broken experience. They could probably fix some things about Skyward Sword, and I would actually like it. And I could
there's
even
no
probably
fixing it. You'd have to
what's that?
redesign the entire game. There's no fixing it. You have to redesign the entire game. Like you
What's
can't. Yes, Skyward Sword. Oh no, no, dude! All of this game is motion control. Like it is
Yeah,
so motion control at its heart that like
yeah.
there is some like you look at Twilight Princess, you waggle the Wiimote and that's attack. Like that's it. They just map a control to motion control. But like no, this game you would have to redesign this entire game to not have motion controls because like there's no like even with like the joystick control that's just a fix to not have you motion control, but like it's all just motion control actions mapped to the joystick. You'd have to redesign this entire game to rip out the motion controls. So that's kind of what this game is. Like you would have to redesign it. You would have to have some way to remap most of this onto a control that makes sense because like the actual buttons that's a half measure for what this game is. So if you could take some of the design and rework it so it didn't have motion controls, you would have loved this.
Oh, what could have been. Oh, what
Mhm.
could have been. All right. That's all you got, right?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, I got two things left, so we'll bang these out. We'll start with Skinamarink. Skinamarinky dinky doo, Skinamarinky doo. I hate you. That's no one. That's to no one in particular, by the way. That's just evergreen.
Yeah,
Directed in 2022 by Kyle Edward Ball, released this year, a Canadian horror independent flick. Two children wake up in the middle of the night and fuckery ensues. I really, really like this movie. It's you want to talk about pretentious shit. This one's definitely got a little bit of pretentiousness in it. But I fucking really, really dug this movie. It's dark as fuck. It's hard to see shit. That's what makes it so creepy. It's kind of preying on you as a kid. You know, remember when a kid, you woke up in the middle of the night and you're really thirsty or you had to take a piss or something like that. And like you kind of leave your room, but all the lights are off and there's no night lights. And you kind of look ahead and you think you see something move, but you're not sure if you saw something move. Yeah, that's this movie in a nutshell, basically, for, its hour and 40-minute runtime. It's scary. Again, horror is very subjective to what scares you and what scares a person. The movie scared the shit out of me. There was a couple of scenes that were hard for me to watch. This movie is very much though a product of its environment. You cannot watch this movie in a distracted environment, or you have zero chance of having it work. For me, I usually like to watch movies with my laptop on and kind of chat in the background while I'm watching the movie. Could not do it for this type of movie, so I made sure to put my laptop away. I was fully engrossed in the screen, had all the lights off, everything like that. But you have to do that to give this movie a chance to work. Ideally, you see it in theaters, but obviously, this is just a small movie and it had such a small release that probably not possible for 99% of the people out there. But yeah, no, I really
I'm that
dug this.
1%. Let's fucking go.
What? What 1%?
I'm that 1% that can watch this properly in my fucking theater room.
That's true. Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. You've got a fucking built-in theater room, so you absolutely could. So you're good. Um,
I just wanted to brag.
it's yeah, but yeah, no, this movie it really really surprised me how much I enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it that much, but it's scary as hell. Um, and yeah, there's just something very unsettling about the whole thing. It definitely starts very slow, almost too slow, and that's my biggest complaint about this movie. Like it's a good half an hour in before anything really starts to happen in an hour and 40-minute movie. So you're cutting it a little bit close there. And I get it. You want to set up the atmosphere, you want to get what you're going for with the movie, but still you could have cut that a little bit. But even with that complaint aside, this is still great. This is my favorite movie of 2023 so far, albeit very early in, and there's going to be a lot more. But this was a banger, big banger to start the year off. Great movie. Highly recommend it.
Skinamarink, or however it's pronounced, whatever. I'm not going to revisit him. I'm actually curious about this one. The entire idea that like the environment of this movie is important for the vibe. Something about that, it's speaking to me. I have no idea when I'll watch it. If it has 4K cut, maybe like a $15 price point, I may bite. But I will not watch this streaming because I don't need things that are like. I mean, if this movie's preying on the unknown, I don't want me looking at the unknown and being like, wow, that's pixelated as hell. So yeah, this one's gonna have a very small case of when I will watch it and how I will watch it. So Skinamarink, I'm sorry if I don't ever end up watching you at some point out of 10.
Yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if there's a 4K cut for this. Very. But you never know. Crazy things have happened.
Big chance.
Yeah. 8 out of 10. Great movie. All right. And then to finish off the show, we are going to talk about Hi-Fi Rush. This game was surprise launched by Xbox. Disgusting.
Okay, that's not true. That's not the Tango GameWorks
That's
snuffed
true.
this out. No,
That's true.
no.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. In fact, Tango GameWorks was making this before they were even acquired by Xbox. So this is even an Xbox game. It doesn't count.
That is true. Not your game.
Correct. Published by Bethesda Software. This game's fucking phenomenal. And I, you know me, you know me and the type of games I like generally. I wasn't sure what I was going to think about this. I had heard some comparisons to Sunset Overdrive, and that scared the shit out of me because I fucking do not like Sunset Overdrive. Thankfully, though, they are unfounded. This game is better in every way. The style, yeah, sure, a little bit stylistically, but I don't know. The style pops here. The whole game is a music basically based rhythm game where you're trying to go through and it's like a hack and slash, kind of like Devil May Cry or anything like that, where you're just fighting enemies, but there's a constant beat going on throughout each level with different songs, and you get higher points and higher scores and higher attack volume and stuff like that based off of if you can keep with the beat of the song. And it's just such a fun little idea, and it works so well. And the soundtrack in this game is just it bangs so goddamn hard. There's so many good songs. And I'm not going to spoil here, but like there's some I weren't expecting in boss fights, and just some great original stuff here made by Tango and the composers, who all did an unreal job here. Um, and the references in this, there's a fucking Twin Peaks reference in this game that just fucking threw me out there that I wasn't expecting. That was just great shit. So yeah, this game just rocked so much harder than I was expecting it to. It's fun, it's fresh. The story is nothing special, but it's there and it's creative, and all the actors, cutscenes, and all the voice dialogue is so well done. This game's just so fun. It's just so fun. It's just a breath of fresh air in every single way. It's a full 10-hour experience, and a lot longer if you want to play through it again, which you have to, because they it's not fucking trophies, achievements. The achievement list is disgusting in this game. I don't give a shit about that, either, or trophies. But like if you want to like get all the achievements for this game, it's incredibly difficult and you have to play it through multiple times. But even if you don't want to do that, when you finish the game, they encourage another playthrough because a bunch of doors that were locked with the game will then get unlocked. So I think that's pretty cool. There's still a lot to explore and do. But my point of all that is you're getting well over 10 hours of gameplay, and the game launched at a $30 price point. So really cool. Like they could have easily charged more for that. Now, whether filthy Xboxers who are not used to paying for games would have paid that, who knows? Probably not. But I by the way, I played this on my Steam Deck. Just for the record, I not give
Well, I
filthy
mean, I don't
Xbox time of
I
day.
don't understand how any other way you could play it.
Correct, correct. You cannot play this game on a console of no games, so that's just ridiculous.
Xbox, no way to play a video game on there outside of Netflix. And Netflix, that's just more of like, I wonder how fast I can scroll through my list. Whoa, 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 I did it! New time.
Correct. But yeah, no, this was just such an interesting game. It's funny because everybody assumed, Mikami and Tango Gameworks would be a horror studio, and that's what they were. They made Evil Within 1 and 2. Great
Mhm.
games. I love both Evil Within 1 and 2. They're bangers, and I have a special spot in my heart for them. But maybe Tango was kind of focusing on the wrong thing this entire time because I do think this is better than either Evil Within game. This is just a tremendously made game. I'm gonna try Ghostwire at some point soon. I know I'm not expecting to like Ghostwire as much as this. I've heard so much more mixed things about that,
Look,
but I
I'm
think
just gonna say that I could somehow see you being at the end of Ghost and be like, yeah, that wasn't bad. And I'm
okay.
just gonna sit here like I can't stand you.
I'm in Evergreen, but yeah, no, I think I that wouldn't surprise me either. But it's interesting because Ghostwire is kind of the first game to trend where it's not as spooky. Like I don't think Ghostwire is considered a horror game by anyone.
It's
So
not. It just has the trappings.
yeah, yeah. And this one just completely throws it away. So I think they're clearly starting to trend in a different direction now, that studio. So whether they go back and make the Evil Within 3, there's a bunch of copium because of some Easter eggs in this game, which I'm not sure about. But I don't know if they'll ever do the Evil Within 3. I would like the Evil Within 3, but maybe they should be focusing more on this shit. Like I just would have never expected this kind of hyper gameplay focused game and to play this well. And another thing, I'm the kind of person when I play a game, I'll usually rely on. I'm kind of like you, actually. Well, I don't know if you always do this, but
Mhm.
you were speaking to my heart when you were bitching about the lack of dodge rolls in Bloodborne, because
Uh,
that's generally when I'm playing a game, I'll dodge roll. Like that's if there's a parrying system, I almost never use the parries. I know I should, but I never do, and I just focus on like dodging and avoiding. That's just how I like to play um, as a gamer for my style.
mhm.
This game, though, the way the parrying works, it's essential that you kind of learn how to do it because there's lots of moments where you have to. But the parrying in this game is so fucking good. They did such a good job. Like again, you're parrying to the beat, and like you'll get these kind of showdowns with these specific, not bosses, but like specific kind of mini bosses, we'll call them, like tougher enemies that you encounter, and they have their own little parry pattern to them that you have to get down. And some of them are easy, but some of them, like these fucking samurai douchebags, are really hard to get their pattern down. They can just slice through you. I only played on normal. I didn't play on hard. I can't imagine how fucking hard this game is on hard. But yeah, just an absolute joy to play this game. One of my biggest surprises of the year. And shockingly, like so far, this is definitely my game of the year. Again, super early, but I definitely put this ahead of Dead Space. And from 20-ish hours into Harry Potter, Hi-Fi Rush is still ahead of that. So I got to give them all the credit in the world for a game I didn't even know existed like, 3 weeks ago.
Hi-Fi Rush. I'm still seriously just one level in. I don't know what it is. My Netflix Death March and Skyward Sword just keep pulling me away. I will say, I literally moved the Series X from the couch, and I moved it over to like the theater room. Like I mean, it's in the same room, whatever. But I mean, like where it would be connected to the TV and the sound system. Like I want to give this game the proper attention, but also I don't have the actual attention in me to go and actually play it. Like for some reason, Skyward Sword is the one that's pulling me right now, so I'm just gonna keep going through that. But Hi-Fi Rush, I. I want to get back to it. I want to, and also terrified of whenever the hell Game Pass is going to go away. And so, like, even if it does go away, it's like, I'm going to wait until you're like $15, even though at 30, it's like, oh, so fucking totally worth it. Just, again, I can't justify buying a digital game. So, yeah, Hi Fi Rush, everything about it just looks like it's a safe game for me to play. And by that I mean like I'm pretty sure by the time I get to the end of it, I'll be like, yeah, I had fun. But yeah, I'm so sorry, Hi-Fi Rush. It just you look like you have such a good personality, but look, man, I can bowl a fucking bomb in Skyward Sword. I'm sorry, this is just pulling me very hard. Hi-Fi Rush, apologies out of 10.
Are you gonna stream it when you play?
Hi-Fi Rush? Oh no, zero chance. No, 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 absolutely not. No, no, no. That streaming is for a game that I know that I need extra motivation to get through. Hi-Fi Rush being so audio focused, there's no chance I play that with headphones. I want to play that with my entire sound system.
I'm curious though. Well, okay, that's fair, and I understand that. Why did you stream Returnal?
Returnal? No, that's the thing though. Returnal, I played that still off of the PS5 streaming. And I was talking to you guys through the controller whenever I streamed Returnal. So like I still
Got
had
it.
the sound system going,
Okay,
but I had the dual sense and the microphone there to still let me stream. I
got it.
don't want
Okay.
to learn how to stream on an Xbox. I don't want to have a microphone connected to me while I'm playing this and maybe obstructing my ears. I don't want to do that.
No, that's fair. It's too bad. That's why, just because it would be a very fun game to watch you stream. But I understand.
Also, I don't want to deal with like, oh, well, whenever the video is saved, now all of it is completely muted because,
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to play it. So, well, funny enough, like I was watching Radic, shout out Radic. I was watching him stream this the other day, and Moki messaged me and was, or I think he posted a message in the server. I forget. I don't know which server. There's too many fucking servers now. But he
Yeah.
posted a message in one of the servers and was like, hey, he's like, Radic's about to be at this boss fight, this specific boss fight. I'm going to keep it vague because I don't want to spoil anything. But
Mhm.
he's like, he's going to be at the specific boss fight that he knew that I fucking love that. I was like, oh shit. So I think I jumped in and Poot jumped in and we both started watching. And the boss fight's still great, don't get me wrong, but he was playing with the streamer mode enabled. So it
No.
had the music removed and it had their own custom music. And I was like, no, because the music they use in that boss fight is so fucking good. It's
Absolutely. See,
so
that's the thing.
fucking good. And I was just disappointed.
Yeah, like I know that I could. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure I could just stream the licensed music. The thing is that I just don't know what Twitch would do. Like, is there a strike system? Do they just mute your on-demand stream of it? I don't know. I kind of don't want to figure it out, so I'd rather just not even risk it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I think from what I know, I think when you get in where you get into trouble is when you leave the VODs up. I think you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
basically go in afterwards and delete the VODs or else you get fucked. As far
yeah.
as I know.
I'm just lazy. I'm not gonna go in and delete it. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just not even doing it.
Fucking dude. But yeah, no, Hi-Fi Rush, fantastic game. I'd be shocked if you don't enjoy this whenever you get to it. So
Oh
I'll
no, no!
be
The first level I already enjoyed. Like, trust me, I already know that
well,
this game is gonna bang.
and the game does start off slow, admittedly. So if you like the first level, you'll definitely be in because the first level is just kind of like throwing a bunch of shit at you, and you don't have, well, not even throwing a bunch of shit at you. It's just you don't have a lot of the stuff you're gonna get in future levels that make the game more fun. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
So as you go, it just gets better progressively, and then the last like few levels they just all bang so fucking hard with some great boss fights, great level design, great music. So yeah, you're in for a fun ride. But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, game of the year for me so far. Very, very big, tremendous surprise. I love this game. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
So I still have issues with the art style. Like it still kind of bothers me, but like that's the thing. It's so musically focused that if the visuals aren't doing it for me, whatever. I don't care. The music still bangs and all that is hitting the right tone. That I don't care if the visuals are still bothering me. So yeah, don't worry. Hi-Fi Rush. We don't have as many problems as you think we do. Out of 10.
Sub 2 hours. Let's
Wonderful. We're done. We're done. End card.
go.
Hey, look at you. You got to the end of the episode. From episode 0 to the day that I finally get lazy and cancel the show. A big thank you to Joey Rawlings for providing the perfect name for the show. Be sure to always give him thanks, either out loud as you're listening to this, or you can just send him a thank you tweet at boogeyman117 underscore. That's boogeyman117, IE instead of Y, double O. Be sure that it's an underscore, not a dash, 117.